Welcome back, everyone, to Tech Tuesdays here on Northwest Digital News. The skill meter is shooting off the expert chart here today because we have Harry Brailsford joining us and Mathias Bjorkholm, if I said that correctly, coming to us also out of the Ingram conference that is down in California. And so Kevin Hunter, Chris Bornstead, and Kyle Torgerson here at the broadcast desk on Northwest Digital News. Glad to have everybody along for the ride here on another Tech Tuesday. So, gentlemen, go ahead and take it away. But I would, first of all, because we've had some interest here, not only in the studio, but I'm sure in our viewing audience, they would like to know about this Picket skateboard that Mathias has in his hand.
So let's start with that.
Yeah. Let's start with that.
I was hoping it was a hoverboard.
Oh, it's upside down.
There we go.
This is the right one.
There we go. So that's part of the company branding. And
awesome.
I before we get into details, but I think you were telling me yesterday that you were riding it around the Microsoft campus and turning heads, and you built quite a reputation for yourself.
Absolutely. That's right. If you want to play together with Microsoft as a small startup from Sweden, there are two things you need to do. One, you need to walk the hallways, but that also means that you need to do at least 27 transatlantic flights in 14 months. And in order to, be a little bit faster, meeting a little bit more people, then you just bring your skateboard, and that's how it works.
Excellent. Well, so I'll tell you what, let me frame it up, folks, and for the listeners and all the ships at sea. So yes, I am at Cloud Summit 10 in San Diego. It's sunny today. A little bit rainy. California's had their fair share of rain this winter, which I think is well received. And we'll talk more about the Cloud Summit in a minute, but one of the launch partners for this conference is Picket. And so we chatted yesterday, and the launch announcement was just this morning, about 4 hours ago. They officially launched inside of an Ingram Cloud marketplace. So, sir, I want to kind of revisit some of our talking points. So first of all, what is Picket?
So imagine that you're a PowerPoint user.
Yep.
And you're spending a lot of time, not only trying to get a nice design layout, but you're also trying to find a lot of good images for your PowerPoint presentation.
Yep.
That means that the vast majority of the people actually are going to Google Images or to Bing Images, stealing the image, basically.
Whoa, wait a minute. You're getting up to the yellow line, stealing an image. No.
Okay. So people are using images without license.
Right, they do. They do.
So that's what's happening. So Picket is actually like a plugin or an app for the Office 365.
Yep.
So where you get access to a large image library of legally cleared images.
Yep.
And together with the PowerPoint designer, you also get the design layouts. You actually create stunning presentations so much faster now. And the other thing, or the other part of this for the companies, is that you can also start to add your own images in here. If you have your logos, your staff portraits, your product shots, or whatever.
You can manage your visual assets.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And what are you hearing at the show today? And understand, this audience we're talking to is B2B. We're really at a show that's more the managed services providers and the resellers that would serve B2B. So with that said, but how's the reception been? What are you hearing?
So the cool thing about this is that everyone loves it. And we did know that from the very beginning.
Yeah.
Because we're solving a pretty daily problem for people.
Yeah.
And we also speed up the work, and we're also helping the companies with the compliance issue. So what we hear is that, okay, when can I get it? That is what we hear. Seeing is believing. So people are, you can download a trial and just look at it, and you will fall in love immediately.
Yeah, and I think what's relevant to this conversation is for the listeners out there, everybody has a computer guy or gal. And again, ignore the gender reference, but that's just kind of what we say in the real world in small business. And so you need to go talk to your computer guy and ask them about Picket, because go through the Ingram Cloud Marketplace, And that does a couple of things. It provides a better experience for the customer. Have the computer guy get in the middle, help install the application, and then quite frankly, at essentially no cost to the customer, but there's an opportunity for the computer guy to make a little money along the way. So quite frankly, everybody wins.
Yeah, definitely.
And what is the URL that people could go see your product?
Oh, super simple. Just go to Picket.
Yeah, let's get that back up.
Picket.com.
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 And then finally, because this is Northwest Digital News, let's end on this note. Let's talk about, I understand you're from Sweden. You started this company, congratulations. But you have an office or a headquarters in Kirkland, Washington, just outside Seattle?
That is correct.
Okay.
So we have a dual headquarter, actually. So we
Okay.
have one in Sweden on a picturesque small exotic island just outside Stockholm.
Yep.
Surrounded by a city wall from the 1000th century,
Okay.
which is pretty cool, very authentic. And then we have Kirkland.
Yep. And Kirkland, folks who are listening, is basically at Carolyn Point, a lovely neighborhood of offices on Lake Washington, in Kirkland, Washington. So we have made a plan. We're going to get you down to the Northwest Digital News studio outside Portland and Longview, Washington. What do you guys think about that? I think it'd be a good road trip.
That's awesome. We're looking forward to it. And one thing I wanted to mention to Mathias is that I have actually made a career in that space of creating online content, particularly in the video world, and I've used a lot of graphics over the years for that sort of thing. And we might have some great synergy there that we could visit about, because I'm working with a lot of other online creators as well. And I'll tell you what, I mean, there's a lot of marks that people miss when they go about creating their marketing campaigns, or if they're even creating stories like we are. But yeah, we have to have that conversation, because there's a market there for you, and a lot of people that we could put you in touch with.
That's a virtual fist bump on that one.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right.
No, but let's make that our visit, because I know you're very busy with launch today. And again, congratulations. So maybe in a couple months, we'll find ourselves down in Longview, Washington, and then we can also scamper down to Portland and find a little fun too.
I would love to.
All right, my friend. Thank you for your time. I know you're busy.
Thank you so much, guys.
Have a nice day.
Okay.
All right.
Bye.
Thank you much. Nice meeting you.
Nice to meet you guys.
All right, Harry. So
All right.
give us a scoop on what's happening with the events down there and some of the observations that you've had on the floor already.
Yeah, so today was the kickoff, the official kickoff of the conference. And so the way conferences tend to work is the first day morning is 4 or 5 hours of back-to-back keynotes, and they always have a sort of a rock star or someone from outside the industry. So let's start with that. A gentleman named Andy, I believe it's Andy Honnell. I may have that last name wrong, but he has a new movie out, and he's on the speaking circuit, a delightful young chap, and he is involved. He climbed El Capitan in Yosemite Park without ropes, and he did it in under 4 hours. And, the way these conferences work is they always have that lady or gentleman who's the motivational speaker. And as you can imagine, he's quite good, and he's got quite a story to go up a 3,000, foot cliff without ropes and to live to tell about it. Along the line of the guy that crossed the Niagara Falls, no ropes. So little bit of that. And then, but the conference itself is 1,500 attendees. It's officially sold out. Ingram Micro is a $44 billion company. They're a distributor. Now, understand distribution revenue figures tend to run high. Ingram Micro, for the sake of giggles, I would offer, they probably make $4 billion off of the $44 billion. That's the margin that a distributor really recognizes.
Yeah.
But they have an audience of resellers, managed services providers, and then some of the big boys, the large consulting firms that would serve, for example, the likes of Boeing. And then it's also an international audience. There are people running around with Brazil jackets, 40 of them. 40 resellers came up from Brazil for this event. So that's kind of the demographic. Now let's talk about the content. What the content is about is in a cloud world. So this is the Ingram Cloud Summit 10. And in a cloud world, the issue is how do I make money? Kevin, we've talked about that a couple of times on your show, and there's a continued push to have the reseller and the managed services provider, of course, provide additional services because there's just not the same need with that old-fashioned server over in the corner to apply patches and fixes and reboot it on a weekend when no one's there. That's all done in the cloud. So Picket dovetails right into this motion. It's what we call an add-on.
Yep.
Now, next point is Ingram is celebrating 1 year of its cloud marketplace in Cloud Blue. And what's interesting is it has Northwest ties. A lot of people don't know this, but Ingram acquired this technology. So they bought the basic, it's a combination of a firm out of Gig Harbor, Washington, if you can believe that, a cloud transactional solution. Right. And then the marketplace, which manages provisioning and billing, came out of a company called Parallels. And Parallels is out of Renton, Washington at the time. They've all since relocated essentially down to Southern California, Irvine, California, where Ingram is based. But a lot of people don't realize we have Northwest ties to a top-level $44 billion company. Finally, and then Kevin, I'll let you ask questions. I just want to get it out there before I forget. Finally, the Ingram story is interesting that a traditional distributor, so when we think of distributors in any business, you think of the warehouses. You think of what we call brick and mortar, and you think of pick and pack. Pick and pack, brick and mortar. And that's easy to visualize. And what Ingram has done is transformed itself from arguably the largest technology distributor in the world, and they earn that, to a distributor, but they're also an independent software vendor, an ISV, with this cloud marketplace. Because, Kevin, there's no physical product with cloud, right?
Exactly.
It's like your phone. So that's kind of the fastest 2 minutes in sports on what I'm doing. I don't know if that piques your interest or the panelists' interest about what the heck I'm doing in San Diego beyond having fun.
It's really great, Harry, is to hear these your feedback from all around the country at these various events that are going on. And when people think about technology and the rapid changes in technology, you and I had conversations even back to the Lotus 1, 2, 3 days and the start of use of Excel spreadsheets, and you think about where computing was in those days versus now, and who would have thought that there'd be all these various solutions and solutions this big that were all cloud-based and things you can't put your hands on. That's pretty crazy when you think about it. And I look forward to the future, and you go, what's coming next? Well, one of the ways that our viewing audience obviously can stay on top of what's coming next is by tuning into shows just like this, because it's a great honor and privilege for us here, Harry, having somebody like you who enjoys traveling around the country and going to all these events and giving people real-time information as to what's happening in tech. Nobody can argue about how big tech is and how impactful it's going to be on our future. You got to stay on top of it.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for the accolades. I'll end on two comments. Along the lines of innovation, there were several companies highlighted today. Picket is one of them, but there was a firm, I'm going to forget their name, forgive me, out of Austin, Texas, that was highlighted that's taking garbage and turning it into, they're recycling it to materials for 3D printers, right? I mean, Kevin, there's no shortage of really cool innovations. And that's kind of what this is about is, let's all agree that infrastructure is infrastructure. Thank you. quite frankly, infrastructure is a little bit boring, quite frankly.
Yep.
It's what you do on top. It's what you do on top of the infrastructure.
Without any doubt. Without any doubt.
And with that said, I am off first thing in the morning. My stay at Ingram this year, unfortunately, is short. I am off. I'm leaving early. I'm off in the morning to Austin, Texas, to South by Southwest. So I'm going to look forward to giving you a full report from there. And I'm going to keep carrying the bag, as they say, Kevin, and go out and get those good stories.
All right, awesome. Appreciate it, Harry. Thanks to everybody who joined us here on the broadcast. Great learning experiences as always, and great updates in the world of tech. Harry Brailsford, Kevin Hunter, Chris Bornstead, and Kyle Torgerson here on the broadcast. And a special thanks to Mathias Bjorkholm, who joined us from Pickett here early in the broadcast. Thanks everyone who joined us here today.
This concludes today's live programming on Northwest Digital News. Thanks for joining us for this special broadcast. Heard around the world in more than 70 countries on YouTube, Instagram, Patreon, Facebook, and Twitch TV. If you enjoyed a story or guest we had here on Northwest Digital News and would like to strut your stuff on the broadcast, email us today at wainfo2017@gmail.com or call or text to 360-545-3501. We're always interested in unique stories, topics, and guests to share with our worldwide audience. Before you go, don't forget to give us a big thumbs up and comment on the live stream. And for those of you who'd like to financially support the broadcast, you can do so at patreon.com/Northwest Digital News. We thank you for your patronage. On behalf of Chris Bornstead, Kyle Torgerson, Stephanie Hunter, and all the people that made this broadcast possible, I'm Kevin Hunter. Till next time, take care.